Read 335. Xiao Yan's reunification with Xun'er. Xiao Yan lifted his head, which was filled with joy. He saw an intense ripple appear within distant space before a couple of figures slowly surfaced. The person in front was wearing elegant green clothes and appeared as lovely as a flower. Her pretty face displayed a gentle smile. Her black hair was randomly restrained by a pale green ribbon. It fell down like a waterfall before spread across her delicate waist. A gentle breeze blew over, causing her hair to drift. Her demeanor appeared just like a fairy that had descended to the mortal realm. Who else could that extremely elegant demeanor belong to other than Xun'er, whom Xiao Yan had not met for a long time? Two people were following behind Xun'er. One of them possessed a familiar face. It was Goo Clan, a genius within the Goo Clan, whose talent and bloodline was barely inferior to Xun'er. The other person was extremely unfamiliar. He was a white-haired old man in blue robes. A warm smile was always maintained on his face. That smile gave one a friendly feeling, but only a person with strong eyesight could vaguely sense the sharpness hidden under that smile. The sudden appearance of Xun'er's group immediately attracted many pairs of eyes. Numerous pairs of eyes swept over the trio before soft, private conversations sprang up around them. The people and factions who could appear in this place were not ordinary people. They naturally understood that even though these ancient clans could truly be described as unparalleled superfactions, even though they seemed to keep a low profile, the members of the Goo Clan have indeed come. The deputy chief of the Hall of Souls frowned and softly spoke after Xun'er's group appeared. The purifying demonic lotus flame is not an ordinary heavenly flame. Even our Hun Clan desires it. It is only natural that the Goo Clan has acted well. The eyes of the Hall of Souls chief swept once over those three, after which they paused on the blue-robed elder. Surprise flashed across his eyes as he spoke in a faint voice. Goo Nan Hai. It is unexpected that the Goo Clan has dispatched him this time around. Although Goo Nan Hai is powerful, it should not be difficult to stop him with Hall Chief strength. The junior clan head in black clothes lifted his eyes and said, "There is an agreement between our ancient clans. Those who are 5-star doshungs and above cannot randomly intervene. The good thing is that the Hall Chief's strength is such that few people within this limit can beat you. Although those powerful individuals cannot intervene, they are definitely observing this place." The chief of the Hall of Souls laughed in a faint voice. He lifted his head and looked at empty space. It was as though there was someone lingering in that emptiness. "Xiao Yan Ji, you have finally become a doshung." The elegant girl stood in front of Xiao Yan. A warm smile also spread across his face as he looked at the girl's pretty smile. Goo Clan and the blue-robed elder by the side involuntarily shook their heads. They had never seen Xun'er this happy within the Goo Clan. Something seemed to have hit the soft spot in Xiao Yan's heart as he looked at that ethereal-like girl in front of him. His thoughts, which had been suppressed, suddenly surged out from deep within his heart like floodwater. He immediately ignored the many pairs of eyes as he extended his hand to grab Xun'er's soft long arm, after which he gently pulled and heavily hugged the beauty in front of him. The current Xiao Yan had truly grown. Regardless of whether it was in age or strength, Xiao Yan's current achievements made him completely worthy of her despite her being in possession of a divine bloodline that is seen only once in 1,000 years. Although Xun'er's strength was not weaker than his, such a young 2-star doshung was someone even an ancient clan like the Goo Clan could not underestimate. In other words, even if the current Xiao Yan were to head to the Goo Clan to propose marriage, no one would dare to say that he was not qualified to do so. A gentle arc surfaced on Xun'er's beautiful face after she was hugged by Xiao Yan. She gently leaned her face on Xiao Yan's shoulder as she somewhat greedily absorbed the familiar scent that she had not experienced for a long time. It had been 3 full years since they had last separated. Due to her being in possession of the Goo Clan's divine bloodline, she could not randomly leave the Goo Clan before she had become a Do Sheng. She could only endure the bitter torture of missing Xiao Yin in her heart in order to protect the continuation of the bloodline. She had put all her effort into training in order to obtain the freedom that belonged to her after reaching that class. Xiao Yin Gg, I have really missed you. Xun'er slightly turned her head. She looked at the side of Xiao Yan's face and curled her lips. A faint bewitchment surfaced on her elegant and beautiful face. Her mutter was quietly transmitted into Xiao Yan's ear. Xun'er will be free in the future. I will continue to accompany you. She had grown up in the Xiao Clan since young because of the Goo Clan. She had also parted with Xiao Yin a long time ago because of the Goo Clan. Each meeting with Xiao Yin was short and hurried because of the Goo Clan. After each short meeting was year after year of waiting, she had gradually endured the days. From this moment on, she was finally able to arrange her time as she pleased. There was no need for her to be tightly managed by the Goo Clan. Xiao Yin was startled upon hearing her words. He immediately smiled and nodded. I'll say, the both of you aren't treating us as non-existent, are you? Gu Qingyang by the side helplessly opened his mouth and spoke while Xiao Yin and Xun'er were softly talking with each other. Xun'er's face reddened after hearing Gu Qingyang's words. She quickly regained her composure and gently freed herself from Xiao Yan's embrace. After which, her pretty eyes landed on Yao Lao, who was behind Xiao Yin. She bowed to him as someone from the younger generation. This must be Elder Yao Chun, right? Ha, little girl, we are acquainted with each other, but we have never met face to face. Yao Lao laughed. Xun'er had discovered him hiding on Xiao Yin a long time ago. At that time, she was unable to determine what his intentions were. Hence, she had even secretly warned him, but this was indeed the first time they had formally met. Elder Yao Chun, please do not continue to keep what happened in the past in your heart. Xun'er was a little apologetic upon hearing Yao Lao's reply. She had suspected that Yao Lao harbored ill intent for Xiao Yin. Hence, her tone was a little impolite back then, but the subsequent events indicated that if Yao Lao had not secretly aided Xiao Yin, the route that Xiao Yin would have taken would have been much worse. It's a small matter. I'm Xiao Yan's teacher. It would really be inappropriate if I am not magnanimous to my disciple's wife. Yao Lao fondled his beard and loudly laughed. His heart felt some joy upon seeing a somewhat embarrassed expression surface on Xun'er's face. He naturally understood Xun'er's status within the Goo Clan. Having someone of this status as his disciple's wife was something that would give him pride. Xiao Yin smiled. After which, he introduced Ziyin by the side. Ziyin and Xun'er were acquaintances, having met each other at Jianan Academy back then, but Xun'er had subsequently left, and the two of them did not meet each other again due to various reasons. Now that they had met again, they felt as though they had changed. After all, one had been a young girl in Jianan Academy, and the other had been a little girl who only knew how to play all day long. However, at this moment, the both of them possessed a peak strength on this continent. Xiao Yin Gg, this is Elder Gu Nanhai from my Goo Clan. He is accompanying me to investigate the purifying demonic lotus flame this time around. Xun'er sweetly smiled and introduced the blue-robed old man behind her. Is the Goo Clan also interested in the purifying demonic lotus flame? Xiao Yan's eyes looked at the blue-robed elder and felt shock within his heart. Although the feeling that this elder gave him was not as profound and unfathomable as the chief of the Hall of Souls, he was still much stronger than Ziyin. These ancient clans really possessed a strong foundation. It is not that we are interested in the purifying demonic lotus flame. It is likely that hardly anyone in this world can subdue that thing. It is fine as long as that flame does not land in the hands of the Hun Clan. The blue-robed old man laughed. He did not try to show superiority through age. His tone was as though he was speaking to an equal and was extremely calm. He did not make things difficult for Xiao Yin like some elders from the Goo Clan. The purifying demonic lotus flame has appeared in the past, but no one has managed to subdue it. The spatial seal present had been placed by the purifying demonic lotus saint. It is extremely mysterious. Even the purifying demonic lotus flame is not able to destroy it within a short amount of time. As long as it slows its attack by even a little, the seal will absorb the surrounding natural energy and repair itself before continuing to seal the flame. Xun'er grinned and explained. The Hun Clan, on the other hand, has always been targeting the purifying demonic lotus flame. They have always come prepared. I wonder just what they are planning to do this time around. They do not seem to be doing anything. Xiao Yin glanced at the trio from the Hall of Souls and commented, "They are waiting for the purifying demonic lotus flame to exhaust its strength from breaking the seal." Xun'er's eyes glanced at the man with black eyes among the trio from the Hall of Souls. She bunched her eyebrows as she softly said, "Xiao Yin Ji should be careful of that person. That person is called Hun Feng. Those from the Hun Clan call him Madman. This Hun Feng has extremely shocking talent and possesses the divine bloodline of the Hun Clan. He is many times stronger than that Hun Yu, whom you met back then. According to the information that we have gathered, he is likely going to be the next clan head of the Hun Clan if no accidents occur. Hun Feng specializes in fighting the levels above him. Since he has begun training, he has seldom fought against those weaker than him. Moreover, he is ruthless and merciless in his attacks. Even when sparring in the clan, there are injuries and deaths when he fights. As more time passed, no one in the same generation dared to fight with him. Even some of the elders within the Hun Clan are quite afraid of him. You should be exceptionally careful when fighting him this time around." Xiao Yan's brows twitched. His eyes drifted over that man called Hun Feng before slowly nodding his head. The next clan head of the Hun Clan was extremely frightening. Just what were his chances of victory if he fought with this person? However, Xiao Yin Ji has also advanced to the second star of the Doshun class, and your actual fighting strength far surpasses this level. This is similar to that Hun Feng. It is impossible to predict just who will be defeated if you exchange blows. Xun'er sweetly smiled as she spoke. Xiao Yin grinned. His heart would not underestimate anyone. The members of the Hun Clan were not friendly characters, yet this Hun Feng was able to become one of its top-notch experts and was even called the next clan head of the Hun Clan. This was enough to indicate just how terrifying he was. Xiao Yin understood that this person would be a relatively troublesome enemy. Why is it that all of the ancient clans only dispatch a few people? Xiao Yin withdrew his focus and suddenly asked. He discovered that regardless of the Hun Clan, the Goo Clan, or the Yin Clan, each of these clans only dispatched 3 people. Subduing the heavenly flame does not rely on a large number of people. It is best that these people of yours do not follow you in when you enter the realm. Otherwise, your losses will be unbearable. Gu Qingyang glanced at the group behind Xiao Yin. These were the elites within the Sky Mansion Alliance. They were large in numbers and possessed a strong aura, but he simply shook his head somewhat helplessly.
Ugh.
Xiao Yin, Yao Lao, and the others were startled upon hearing this information. That space is fraught with danger after being managed by the purifying demonic lotus flame for thousands of years. Even an elite Bansheng will barely be able to preserve one's life after entering it. The blue-robed Gu Nanhai laughed as he added some more information. Thank you for the reminder. Xiao Yin was quietly speechless. He quietly felt a little fortunate. They were indeed inexperienced and could not be compared with these ancient clans. If Xun'er's group hadn't informed Xiao Yan's group, it was likely that Xiao Yan's group would have suffered serious injuries and deaths. Our ancient clans have an agreement among ourselves. Those top experts, whose strength exceeds the 5th star of the Doshun class, cannot randomly intervene. Hence, the experts that have been dispatched will not exceed the 5th star of the Doshun class.
Xun'er softly explained.
No wonder. Xiao came to a sudden understanding. He had been feeling a little surprised as to why the Hun clan did not dispatch any experts to deal with him after he had destroyed an important branch hall of the Hall of Souls. This was the reason why. The only person in the current Hall of Souls who caused Xiao to feel fear was the chief of the Hall of Souls himself. However, this person was busy subduing the purifying demonic lotus flame and did not have time to deal with him. Hence, the Hall of Souls could only endure the losses. The purifying demonic lotus flame is extremely powerful. It will be a great help to anyone who subdues it, but it will be difficult to subdue it if one simply relies on experts below the 5th star of the Doshan class. No wonder no one has managed to subdue the purifying demonic lotus flame for thousands of years. Xiao eyes slightly flickered. This limiting condition did not really benefit these ancient clans, but it seemed that they were willing to create trouble for others. The purifying demonic lotus flame was far too powerful. Even if they could not obtain it, they would definitely not allow others to do so. Haha, Elder Yao. It is unexpected that the Yin clan has actually dispatched you this time around. While this thought lingered in Xiao heart, Goo Nanhai's eyes suddenly shifted to Huaxin's group, who were remaining quiet behind him. That purple-robed old man twitched his eyebrows slightly upon hearing this greeting. He immediately said, "The clan head has instructed that it is best that the purifying demonic lotus flame remains without an owner. It will be best for everyone that way." Although this elder Yao's words seemed calm, Xiao could still hear some irritation in them. Goo Nanhai bitterly smiled and shook his head after hearing these words. He said, "Elder Yao, don't tell me that you really think that the disappearance of the Ling clan was caused by my Goo Clan?" Elder Yao was quiet. Huaxin and the red-clothed lady beside him exchanged looks but did not interfere in this matter. It is impossible to investigate this matter. However, the Goo Clan and the Hun Clan are the biggest suspects. It is necessary to remain cautious. Our Yin clan does not wish to share the same fate as the Ling clan. Yao was quiet for a moment before he slowly opened his mouth and replied. He waved his hands after uttering those words. Finally, he turned around and hurried away. Huaxin could only helplessly spread his hands to Xiao before following Yao.
Ugh.
Goo Nanhai sighed after seeing Yao leave. He continued to frown. It seems that the disappearance of the Ling clan has caused great discord to form between the ancient clans. Xiao thought within his heart upon witnessing this exchange. If there was a party who was the murder between the Goo Clan and the Hun Clan, Xiao would naturally think that the party would be from the Hun Clan. The Ling clan had completely vanished without anyone realizing. No one could detect even the slightest clue. Even the many peak experts from the Goo Clan were unable to discover anything beforehand. This had undoubtedly caused them to feel suspicious. After all, the only ones who could barely manage to quietly destroy the entire Ling clan were the Goo Clan and the Hun Clan. This matter was most likely done by the Hun Clan. Their aim is to cause the few large ancient clans to be cautious against each other, making it impossible for any cooperation to occur. Xun'er's pretty eyes drifted in the direction of the Hall of Souls trio as she softly inferred. "No one will believe us without evidence." Goo Nanhai shook his head while feeling a little helpless. He waved his hand and ceased getting entangled over this topic. His eyes swept around him before he said, "The Lei clan, the Yao clan, and the Shi clan will definitely not miss the appearance of the purifying demonic lotus flame. Perhaps they will come here soon." Yao Clan. Xiao eyes shifted upon hearing these words. He looked at Yao Lao and saw a complicated expression flash across Yao Lao's eyes. "Now, we should quietly wait for the best opportunity to enter the realm. After that we can try and see if it is possible to subdue the purifying demonic lotus flame." Goo Nanhai let out a long sigh. Both of his hands were placed behind him as he lifted his head. His eyes locked onto the distorted space in the distant sky. A terrifyingly high temperature continued to spread from that tear in space. Cream-white light was appearing more frequently. In the end, the desert below had vaguely become sticky. The sand began to gradually melt. The number of sounds of rushing wind appearing around the distortion increased as this desert gradually turned into magma. More and more experts had been attracted by the unusual phenomenon. Within half an hour, many figures had appeared, crowding the sky. However, most of these people were waiting a great distance from the broken space. Only those true experts like Xiao dared to approach the area within 1,000 feet of the shattered space. The Yao Clan and the Xun'er clan among the 8 ancient clans also arrived one after another while everyone was waiting. However, they did not approach after seeing Xun'er and the chief of the Hall of Souls. Instead, they hesitated for a moment before withdrawing some distance. From the looks of it, the disappearance of the Yao Clan had caused them to feel fear and caution for the Goo Clan and Hun Clan. In the face of this kind of reaction, Xun'er could only shake her head. They did not have any evidence to prove that the Yao Clan's disappearance was caused by the Hun Clan. Hence, they felt helpless because of this suspicion that had appeared out of nowhere. Time passed. Around half an hour after the Yao Clan and the Xun'er clan arrived, the rushing sound of wind once again echoed from the horizon. There was a medicinal fragrance that was vaguely emitted from the wind. The members of the Yao Clan. Ads by Pub Future. Xiao eyes became focused as he smelled this unique scent. He sensed Yao Lao's skin suddenly become a lot more tense. Swoosh! 3 figures flashed and appeared from the distant fluctuation within Xiao eyes. In a flash, they appeared in front of everyone. 3 unknown individuals appeared. There was a man, a woman, and an elderly person. The man was wearing a beautiful robe. His face was handsome and even contained some traces of feminine aura. His lips were a little thin, revealing an icy cold harshness. The lady beside him had long blue hair with an exquisite face, but she appeared like frost, looking like an ice beauty. The last elder was wearing an alchemist robe. Both of his hands were inserted into his sleeves. An occasionally stern glint flashed across his narrow eyes. That young man is called Yao Tian. He is the most outstanding person among the younger generation of the Yao Clan. His spiritual strength has already reached the advanced heavenly state. He has once swallowed a medicinal pill that had nearly become a Tier 9 treasure pill. His actual strength is an intermediate 1-star doshang, and he can be considered the most outstanding person in the Yao Clan. It is rumored that he has once successfully refined a Tier 9 treasure pill. Xun'er softly spoke beside Xiao. Xiao slowly nodded. These ancient clans possessed an endless amount of resources. Even an idiot could be trained into an expert by them. Even less needed to be said of the people who possessed an extraordinary talent. Their achievements would be extremely terrifying. That lady is his younger sister, Yao Ling. Her strength might only be an initial banshang, but her spiritual strength is extraordinary. She is called the person with the highest possibility of training her soul to the D state within the Yao Clan. That old man is an extremely experienced elder within the Yao Clan. He is called... Yao Lao's somewhat hoarse voice continued before Xun'er could finish speaking. Yao Wangue. He manages discipline and punishment within the Yao Clan and possesses great authority. His words can decide the life and death of a member of the Yao Clan. Xiao was slightly startled. He looked at Yao Lao, only to see that Yao Lao's body was trembling as he stared at the old man called Yao Wangue. Teacher, Xiao softly called out. His hand also grabbed Yao Lao's arm. He could see that Yao Lao's emotions were in a bad state. I'm fine, Yao Lao softly sighed and shook his head. Is there a grudge between teacher and Yao Wangue? Xiao softly asked. Yao Lao slightly tightened his fist. He was quiet for a moment before he explained in a somewhat hoarse voice. Back then, he had failed to distinguish what was right from what was wrong. Just one sentence from him, and I was expelled from the clan. Xiao Yin quietly nodded. He gently patted Yao Lao's arm, and a smile immediately surfaced on his face. Murderous intent filled that smile. It's fine. This disciple promised you that I will take this person's life.